arrive in 2 minutes, Your Royal Highness. Sir?
I have received from His Majesty the King
Sorry, I don't have a receptionist. I like to keep things simple. Poor and content is rich and rich enough.
Sorry?
Shakespeare, how are you?
How do you do?
Oh, chuffing along.
And what of my husband with the Duke of York?
Duke of York?
Yes. The Duke of York.
I thought the appointment was for Johnson. Forgive me, Your
Royal Highness.
Royal Highness. Well, I believe when speaking with the Prince, one waits for the Prince to choose the topic.
waiting for me to commence a conversation. One can wait rather a long wait.
Oh, yeah. What was your earliest memory?
What on earth do you mean?
Your first recollection?
I'm not here to discuss personal matters.
Well, why are you here then?
Because I bloody well stammer!
You have a bit of a temper.
One of my many faults.
When did the defect start?
I've always been this way.
I doubt that.
Don't tell me it's my stammer.
It's my field. I can assure you no infant starts to speak with a stammer. When did yours start?
4 or 5.
That's typical.
So I've been told. I can't remember not doing it.
I can believe that. Do you hesitate when you think?
Don't be ridiculous.
How about when you talk to yourself? And everyone natters to themselves occasionally, Bertie.
Stop calling me that.
I'm not going to call you anything else.
Then we shan't speak. I can't read this.
Well, then you owe me a shilling for not trying.
To be or not to be? That. Can't be. You're playing music.
I know.
So how can I hear what I'm saying?
Well, surely a prince's brain knows what its mouth's doing.
You're not well acquainted with royal princes, are you? Hopeless. Hopeless!
You're playing music.
I know.
So how can I hear what I'm saying?
Well, surely a Princess Ray knows what its mouth's doing.
You're not well acquainted with royal princes, are you? To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep to say we end, the heartache and the thousand natural shocks the flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation hopeless.
I'm willing to work hard, Dr. Logue.
Lionel.
Are you willing to do your part?
Of course. Feel the looseness of the jaw. Good, little bounces, bounces. Shoulders loose, shoulders loose. Good. Now loose. Take a nice deep breath. Anyone who can shout vowels at an open window can learn to deliver a speech.
It's Your Majesty the first time. After that, it's ma'am, as in ham, not ma'am, as in palm.
I haven't told her about us. Sit down, relax.
I'm told your husband calls my husband Bertie, and my husband calls your husband Lionel. I trust you won't call me Liz.
Your Majesty, you may call me Mrs. Logue, him.
Very nice to meet you, Mrs. Logue.
Logue.
Forget everything else and just say it to me. Say it to me as a friend.
In this grave, our perhaps the most fateful
In our history,
I send to every household of my peoples,
both at home and overseas,
this message.
spoken with the same depth of feeling for each one of you, as if I were able to cross your threshold and speak to you.
Myself. For the second time in the lives of most of us, we are at war. Over and over again, we have tried to find a peaceful a way out of the differences between ourselves and those who are now our enemies. But it has been in vain. We have been forced into a conflict. For we are called to meet the challenge of a principle which, if it were to prevail, would be fatal to any civilized order in the world. Such a principle, stripped of all disguise, is surely the mere primitive doctrine that might is right. For the sake of all that we ourselves hold dear, it is unthinkable that we should refuse to meet the challenge. It is to this high purpose that I now call my people at home and my peoples across the seas who will make our cause their own. I ask them to stand calm and firm and united in this time of trial. The task will be hard. There may be dark days ahead, and war can no longer be confined to the battlefield. But we can only do the right as we see the right, and reverently commit our cause to God. If one and all we keep resolutely faithful to it, then, with God's help, we shall prevail.
Congratulations, Your Majesty. A true broadcaster.
Thank you, Mr. Wood.
Congratulations, Your Majesty. Sir? Congratulations, Your Majesty.